Good afternoon and welcome to Eating with Dogma. That dripping sound you hear, you're going to hear throughout this whole yogurt making session, is cottage cheese being made, hanging in this cloth right here. I just put that in there, and it'll take probably about 9 hours or so to drip all the way out and turn into a beautiful cottage cheese. So for this video, I am going to share with you my raw yogurt making. It's very bright today, so I'm sorry I'm a little washed out. I need to get a professional light. So what I have done here is I have heated some raw milk, and the whole time that I was heating it, I was stirring it, and I kept checking with my thermometer, and I got it to the perfect temperature for making yogurt, which is like raw yogurt, which is like 105, which is exactly what it is right now, 105. So clearly you see what utensils I'm using. I'm sure you've seen one of these, very cheap, easy to get. So now that it's at the right temperature, that's when we put the bacteria in. And I want to show you very simple, I mean, it's so basic, the trick to putting in the bacteria, the good bacteria. So first what you got to do is you got to, I'm using a ladle because if I don't, I will spill the milk all over the counter. So you first take some of this right temperatured milk, raw milk, and you put it into a glass. This is a very important step. Never put the culture directly into the milk. And now we get out the culture, which is always refrigerated. And I highly recommend, this is the only one that I found in the country that has, it's called GI Pro Health, and it's the GI Pro Start. It's a yogurt starter. Pretty much any yogurt starter that you get anywhere in health food stores is going to have things like pectin or guar gum, carrageenan. Those things feed the pathogenic bacteria. This one has nothing but 2 bacteria. It has Thermophilus, Lactobacillus bulgaricus, and Lactobacillus casei. Hey, I can read. It's really tiny handwriting. Your vision's supposed to get worse as you get older. Mine seems to be getting better. I wonder if it's any of the things that I'm eating. Could it be? But as you know, I'm not militant about one particular style of eating healthy. I like to go through them all, and as long as they are, I mean, clearly we eliminate all crap, you know, all sugars, all grains, and any kind of processed stuff. But when you're eating vibrant, alive food, really, it's you can't go wrong. So this is my favorite culture. And one thing about culture that I want to tell you, so this is 1/8 of a teaspoon, and I have maybe 3/4 of a gallon, but you can just do 1/2 a gallon, usually 1/8 of a teaspoon to 1/2 a gallon, but I'm putting in a little extra. First let me blend this, and then I'll continue talking. So then you have the culture in here, and so you get a chance to really break it down very well. Once it's broken down very well, then you pour it into your mix, and then you stir it in. So the thing about these 2 cultures that I put in here, these are strong cultures. water, dampness, sweat. um, as opposed to, for example, people are all excited about kombucha, right? And they're doing it and say, oh, it saved my life, I felt better. The people who feel better who are doing kombucha probably were drinking Coca-Cola before. So anything is an improvement. But basically the way kombucha is sold in the stores, or the way a lot of people make it, it's sugar and caffeine. And true kombucha, which I think it came from my part of the world, from Eastern Europe, Russia, true kombucha tastes like shit if it's really the true kombucha. It's tart as hell, right? So when you go to the store and you get your little kombucha, or you make it yourself, you stop fermenting when it tastes pleasant and it still has a lot of sugar in it, before all that is eaten out. So the kombucha culture is a much weaker culture than this Bulgaricus and Casei. Much stronger culture. So in other words, I put that culture into this milk, right? But if there's all kinds of things in the air, from mold to whatever, they will not be able to take over this milk, because that culture is stronger. Whereas the kombucha culture, which I don't know if you ever made it, it looks like a alien pale looking liver when you make it yourself, that can pick up anything from your environment. So you could be growing some really gross crap in there and drinking it and thinking, oh, this is good for me, but it's not. So I'm just saying, okay? So now we have the culture in there. And you can also, if you don't have the, well, I'm trying to think. No, never mind. Cancel that. I'm going to keep it simple. So now all I'm going to do, so yogurt making machines really suck. I have never found one that I like, because most yogurt making machines are closed and you have a lid. So all the liquid stays in there and the yogurt is really watery and runny. I think the best place to make yogurt is using a dehydrator. My favorite is the Excalibur. I have it in 2 sizes up there in my little mini loft, because I don't have any room down here. So the reason I like making it in a dehydrator is because some of the whey already evaporates, so it's a thicker, more solid yogurt. So I just put it into various, whatever, jars I have. And at one point I would always put it into these jars so that I could just grab it and go and run out the house. If I'm in a rush, I'd have some yogurt in a jar. But now what I do is I like to make it more like a Greek style yogurt, so I put it in any size jar. And then I'm going to also do the same thing I'm doing to the cottage cheese, which is I'm going to strain out the whey so that the yogurt is thicker. Really, what this is a cheese making process. So if I don't want to spill milk all over myself, I don't know, I think I'll use the ladle. It's slow, but it gets the job done without making the counter a complete mess. So after I fill these jars, I'm going to go very cautiously walk up my very small stairs, and I will put it into my Excalibur dehydrator at like 100 and I put it at like 108 or 105 degrees, and I will ferment this yogurt for, I like anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. So the more you ferment it, the more tart it will be, and the more intense the medicinal quality of it will be. In other words, the longer it's there, the more the sugars get eaten and all the lactose is gone, and it's just tart. So, but then you can always put some raw honey into it, And it becomes really medicinal. Like, instead of buying, you know, eating a whole bottle of store-bought probiotics, you just have a teaspoon of this and you're getting more potency than that. And also because, you know, here I am making it, it hears the sounds of my voice. I mean, these are living bacteria. So I'm starting a relationship with it, and I talk to it, and I ask it to create it's making its frequencies in alignment with what my body needs. I play nice music here. I sing when I'm here, and the bacteria hears all that, knows all that. I mean, if you still haven't figured out that life and how we live it has a lot to do with our intention and with our frequency, whatever you want to call it, well, then maybe this is the time to start. And microbes are alive. They're in us right now. All that stuff that people call junk DNA is microbial DNA. I always say that it's by the grace of microbial poop go I, because they poop out some things that, some of the bad bacteria, some things that really are not great for us, but the good bacteria will poop out things that are of great benefit to us, make things more digestible. B12 is a microbe. It's not a chemical. Okay, this is coming along. So I guess you don't have to watch me do all this. In maybe what I will then reveal in a second video will be the finished product. Maybe I'll reveal the finished yogurt and the finished cottage cheese at the same time. I think that'll be a great idea. So you can see what I do with it once it's done. I think now I trust myself to pour it without making a mess. So this is a lot of protein you're getting over here. You know, it's like when you're on the run and it takes time to make this, but then when you're just living your life and you're running out the house, or you got things to do, or you're hungry and you want to make sure you have something nourishing, you grab one of these yogurts and you throw some fruit in it, or you can throw some ground up flax seeds, or some chopped up nuts, or you can make it on the salty side. You could take the yogurt and chop some cucumbers and dill and some salt, and you got our very traditional Eastern European cucumber dish. So yeah, so now I'm going to go yonder up those stairs, which is a whole procedure, without tripping or killing myself. So I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in part 2, where I will reveal the finished product.